This is Inspirational Women, a weekly series shining the spotlight on female trailblazers making a true difference in our community. Once again, here is Kate Daniels.
I really appreciate the metaphor. We're only as strong as our weakest link, because I feel it calls us to care for and about all members of our community. QFC, in collaboration with Food Lifeline, is doing just that and inviting us to be partners in providing good and nutritious food to our neighbors who are struggling with having enough food in their life. Allison Todd is the QFC Customer Communications Manager and joins us to share just how we can be involved. Allison Todd, good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Kate?
I'm doing great too. And part of that is because we're going to have such a wonderful conversation, I'm anticipating, because we're going to be talking about how we as community can really be community and family together because of a great collaboration that you, as Kroger's, as QFC Markets, have with Food Lifeline.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that. We have a really special relationship with Food Lifeline.
And it's been going on for years, certainly, right?
Yeah, as long as I can remember.
See, well, so that's quite a few years. And
Yeah.
if we talk about just even thinking of last year, I know that the collaboration between community shoppers at QFC and donations made because of Food Lifeline, it was a huge amount that was actually gathered, right?
Yeah, and last year alone, QFC customers helped us provide over $250,000 worth of nutritious, culturally relevant food. And that went to families all across the region because Food Lifeline gets that food out to local food banks all over our market.
And there's a number of things that you mentioned there. Of course, the amount is really significant. That's really, even in today's times when, money is so tight or it doesn't seem to stretch as far, that still is a significant amount that is really helping those who are finding themselves with more month left at the end of whatever's in the checking account.
Absolutely. And we're able to really take those dollars and spread them in the right way. We can help navigate working with different vendors and sourcing food in different ways. So like 18 cents and we can get a pound of potatoes. There's you can really help to get nutrient dense foods that people need just to be healthy and keep their kids and families healthy.
And so that's really the bottom line. Besides just helping in general, making it so that it really counts in terms of healthy, nutritious foods.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned the words culturally relevant. So I think that too is really sensitive and really makes a huge difference for families because we know we're really a wonderfully diverse community, and this is recognizing every single person.
Yeah, we are a diverse community and everybody has different traditions and needs in their meal preparations. So we really try to listen to what people are asking for at the food pantries and then work with Food Lifeline to make that happen. We can look at sourcing different items when they're asked for. We just try to keep everything healthy and food forward so that they can really make a meal out of what we provide.
Food forward, is that the term for creating a kind of a rounded out meal?
Yeah, well, what I mean by that is that we're going after like real foods, nutritious, whole foods. We don't want to provide a lot of sugary, non-nutritious things to people that really need food.
Yes, right. Which really will, besides being healthy, of course, but really will fill us up more than, those nutrient deficient foods, like the things,
Absolutely.
not just kids, some of us.
You gotta have your proteins and all the things to make everybody healthy.
Yes.
So
So that's a really, really important aspect of this is being able to make these donations so that the money is really stretching further to get what you were talking about, these nutritionally dense foods. And the way that we can do it most efficiently is when we're shopping at the market, right?
As in,
Uh,
are you asking how people can donate?
exactly, yes. So we're
Oh,
shopping at.
well, yes, you can absolutely shop and donate by buying foods and dropping them in bins, but we also have a virtual bag that we're selling for $10 in our check stands right now. And I know that sounds weird. Virtual, we think it's online or not real, right? But what that is it's a $10 amount that goes towards pallets of food that the food banks needs. And it really makes it simpler for them because when they get in a bunch of random donated items, then they have to sort through it.
Mm.
And by us taking the donations and palletizing and just sending in like a full pallet of beans or vegetables or whatever they need, it makes it so that they can fulfill a lot more in a more efficient way. And since they have over 300 local food banks they're supporting, getting full pallets or multi-pallets of the same item that they really need helps them. So that virtual bag is just a simple way for customers to donate. I know a lot of our own people do too, and they just want to make a difference. We see people that are hungry, and being in the food business, you want to be impactful and give back as much as you can.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, yes, your staff, especially the ones on the floor, the cashiers and those with, just in the different areas in the produce section, in the deli and such, yes, they're coming face to face with people and seeing what the needs and the concerns are. So, yes, frontline experience, so they
Yes,
then react,
that's right.
right? Yeah.
That's right. Just gotta
Yes.
take care of it.
So I think that that virtual bag really makes sense now. So it is a $10 bag. It's essentially a $10 gift certificate, I guess, that really is then all funneled in terms or to foods that are pallets of food. Is that how it works?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all given to the food bank in pallets. And so we take all those donations and then this our program wraps up, our holiday hunger program. We just deliver pallets and pallets, truckloads of food to Food Lifeline, and then they can get them out to the communities that need them the most.
And you were saying that this is active in 300 locations in Western Washington, or is it across the state?
Yeah, over 300 local food banks. So it's Food Lifeline is kind of like the hub, and then they get food out to all of the little community food banks. And QFC has 58 stores. We're all over this area. We go as far north as Stanwood, we go out to North Bend, we're out on the peninsula, and a lot of our core just in Seattle and the east side here. But there's food banks in all of those locations, and Food Lifeline helps those food banks get food.
Mhm.
They deliver it, drop it off, and a lot of it comes from this program during this time of year.
During this time of year, and we should be clear about that, all this month, every single day through December, we can make these donations. And it doesn't have to happen just once. We can do it, well, anytime that we're shopping.
Absolutely. We sure can.
Yeah. And I was thinking too, because I think of how we teach our children and model for our children. So if we're shopping and we are picking up foods for ourselves, and we get to the checkout, although I haven't seen how that actually is working in the stores. Are there signs? How would we really point this out to a child?
Yeah, there are signs. There's signs at the register that talk about the virtual bag right on the pin pad topper, and there's other signs. There's we call them T stands, but they're like a stanchion sign that's on the sales floor, and some of our end caps have like the virtual bag on them. So you can definitely have great conversations about it. I know that I have two kids, and we always try to pick some things to support during this time of year. We do this silly thing with their allowance each week where they get a certain amount to go into spend, save, and give. And so they each have an account of give, and then they get to pick how they give back. And we always make sure that we do some of it for Food Lifeline, because it's a very important thing.
I really admire that. That is wonderful. I feel that that's something that is so critical to learn at a young age. It just becomes instinctive then. It becomes a habit that is important, that and we understand why this is important as we grow up, and then as adults, are giving to our community, and then in turn teach our children as they come along. So that is beautiful what you're doing with your kids.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things that you want to make sure we need just more of that in the world, I guess. More kindness, more taking care of each other and our neighbors and friends. And so got to start them young, right? That's
Yeah.
big conversations.
Yeah, well, that is lovely, and I understand. So, in you do the same sort of thing because you have a women's group uh, at QFC that is also involved in giving to the community.
Yeah, QFC has a group called Edge, that is a women's group. It's kind of a group that just gets together to help navigate real life things. And we try to solve business needs and get back to the community. So we get involved with a lot of different things. This group has been around for over 20 years. I've been part of it here for over 20 years, actually. And we have all sorts of events we do. QFC worked with Food Lifeline this fall. This is our 70th anniversary of QFC. And we worked with Food Lifeline this fall for a big food packing event. And a lot of our Edge members were out there on the floor packing meals and just giving back. So we try to really spread that awareness. And our Edge members are in our office, they're in our stores, they're all over. And so just working with people, listening, helping make sure that we kind of keep it real.
It sounds to me like, there's that phrase, walk your talk, that's
Yeah.
exactly what seems to be happening.
Yeah, it's great. We have a really great, strong community focus here. And that's one of the things that I love about QFC.
And, you mentioned that you've been at QFC for 20 some years already.
I
Right?
have,
Yeah.
yep.
So you don't, one doesn't stay with an organization for that amount of time without feeling a really strong kind of allegiance, really an alignment in terms of values and what is happening in terms of, just the whole balance of life.
Yep, it's a special place, and we try to be there for our customers. If you think like last year we had the bomb cyclone, or you name it,
Yeah.
you've got an event, and we've got to figure out a way to navigate and be there, whether it's working with Food Lifeline to give back and feed people that need it, or just making sure our shelves are stocked for our customers every day. And if the power's out or if the snow's there, like we've got to figure out a way to be there and be open. And it's a pretty special place.
And we perhaps don't honor, respect that enough when we think about, the emergency workers who need to be on the front lines. Well, grocery store workers are certainly that because just as you pointed out there, you need to be there with the shelves stocked because food, that's a lifeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Our store teams do an incredible job making that happen every day.
Yeah. So here it is, this season of festivities. And on the other side of it, there are challenges, and everybody is wanting to make it a really special time, especially when we have children, so that they really feel like they have similar to what their friends at school have, that there isn't a feeling of being so different or lacking. So here's where we have that opportunity. When I think back to that number of last year, collecting the $250,000, that I can't help but feel makes an impact on what families are able to do by being able to get these nutritional foods that are really special to their customs and culture from the food banks.
Yeah, QFC is we're working really towards the zero hunger, zero waste
Mm,
mission that all of Kroger is working towards. And that just ensures that no family in any of the neighborhoods we serve is hungry and food isn't going to waste. So not only do we have this holiday hunger program, but we also every day of the year we're working with Food Lifeline to make sure food doesn't go to waste in our stores. If it's close dated and we can get it to somebody who needs it, we do that. And then we're just helping. It's really all about um, health and nutrient dense food getting to the people who need it most so that we can make that impact. Food Lifeline, they are needing more and more food all the time. They had a 60% increase in the past year of people visiting the food banks. And so it went from 10 million to 16 million, which is crazy. There's been a lot of changes and they need more food, which means we're trying to help them more.
yeah.
And it just shows in the local food pantries near each of our stores because they're getting more visitors, and a lot of them are under age 18. So a lot of children with those families. Last year, Western Washington reported 2.4 million unique individuals, and over 750,000 of those were kids. So there's a big need to make sure families have what they need and kids aren't going hungry.
Oh, and it's so important with kids because in their development, they are just so in dire need of having that good
Yeah,
nutrition, just in general, in terms for their growth. And so to think of that number, I mean, that's huge to have that going on. And then how great that we do have, well, let's call it like a safety net that exists to help, and hopefully it's reaching at least most of the kids and the families who are needing it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're doing what we can. And that's why we ask our customers to help, right? Because
Yes.
we have a lot of processes in place and we're donating a lot, but then we can't do it all on our own. And it really just comes down to the community helping the community. And
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of people who are more than willing to support that. And they're happy to give $10, buy that virtual bag, and know that that food is going straight to help somebody who really needs it. We also, if people don't want to do the virtual bag, we offer a roundup option. And roundup is just taking the cents and rounding up to the nearest dollar. And then we have all of that money go into a fund and also use that to give Food Lifeline even more.
Hmm. So various ways to give, and to your point about how much Kroger and QFC are really doing, and it is significant. It really is about the community. It can't be just somebody else do it. We need to really see ourselves as part of. I refer to it as this puzzle. We each need to be a piece of that in order to make it complete, in order to really make it be as beautiful and vibrant as it can be, and any missing piece of it takes away from it. So this is an opportunity for us to really be active members of our community.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to relieve some stress from somebody, right? There's so much going on that people have to navigate in the world. And if we can make one less person hungry, we're here to help.
Yes. Oh, so significant. I was really interested in your saying how, with the zero waste, what I was imagining was the produce section. Is that what it refers to primarily?
Well, zero hunger, zero waste. So our goal is to really eliminate hunger and waste as much as we can, right? It's a big goal. But waste comes down from throwing away food to even getting our stores on track with the right processes for recycling and making
Mm.
sure all the things go in the right areas. So there's no significant waste. We don't want to just throw things away that shouldn't be thrown away. So we try to divert, whether it's produce or meat or any items that could expire or go bad, right? Our dairy, we try to
Mm.
divert those to the right areas in a timely manner so that they can feed people. And then waste also is really trash. We want less trash in the world and kind of that save the planet mentality as we keep everybody full.
Y- Oh, yes. Huge, huge issue for sure. So, and it's more than just recycling, it's really trying to reuse and repurpose
Yeah.
items. And so you mentioned, I was thinking produce, which of course is part of it, but yes, all the dairy section. Those things come close to expiring. So, those are items too that can be donated to the food banks in the local vicinity, correct?
It's all about timing and just making sure the sell by dates, we have a really good rotation process and work with the food bank for timely pickup and getting them out to families in a really timely manner so that they can use them before they go bad.
Right. Whoa. It's so much bigger than I was thinking about, but what an amazing process really responding to the needs that exist. I mean, things are tough. As you said, the numbers that Food Lifeline saw the increases over this last year. I mean, that's been huge, and we've seen that anyway with in this last quarter of the year, how, things went with, changing of government programs and all that sort of thing. So we knew that there was a real push. And it takes time to recover from that too, doesn't it?
Yep, it absolutely does.
Yeah. And so that's why this month is so significant. Every month, we don't want to say it only happens this month, but this is like a big time because there's so many celebrations that go on, and wanting to have everybody celebrate in a good way. They don't have to be over the top celebrations, but to really have the foods that are special, and to just recognize that and honor that in people. And all of us have an opportunity to participate, which I really feel is such an excellent thing that opportunity we're being given.
Absolutely. It helps our customers can kind of just become part of our mission, right? Like
Hmm.
they're right there alongside us. And I feel like a lot of our customers, they're there all the time, right? They know our store team so well. They trust them. Like they say hi. They're friends. They see them all the time. And um, it's good to see them just work together as they try to make this happen so that the Pacific Northwest is a better place.
Yes, absolutely. So we have then really a simple way. I really do love this idea of the virtual bags that we can purchase. Rounding up is good, but the virtual bags I think are really can make such a big impact in the way that you fashion it. So just to recap that, because in case someone didn't quite get it the first time around, how does the virtual bag really work?
Yeah, so the virtual bag is just a $10 bag that customers can purchase at our registers, and they pay the $10 and they don't take anything physical with them. All the money just goes into an account, and then as this ends, we take all that money and then we use it to buy pallets of food that the food bank needs, and it's nutrient rich, high density food that people just need to survive, really. And so we get that all to the food banks, well, to Food Lifeline, who gets it out to the food banks. But because it's dropped off in pallets, then it saves them from having to sort through all the random items that they could get in. And it's just organized and convenient, and they can quickly get it out to the areas that need it the most.
And I think the significant thing there too is how, with the monies, you're buying this in bulk as opposed to buying smaller packages and such. The bulk really it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, both in terms of the ease of distributing, but you can the purchasing power, I guess, is what is so
Yes,
big.
absolutely. You with them to absolutely give them a really good deal and get as much for the money as we can so that we can feed more people.
Yes, and that's the bottom line: is to have zero hunger. Back to that
Yeah,
mission statement, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is just so important and incredible. And during this time of year when I think we feel even more inclined to having that spirit of wanting to share and wanting to be generous, this is our time to do it because we well for some $10 is a lot and that is why we're donating. For some of us, it's an amount, but we can afford to do it, and then we feel so good about being able to support someone who just doesn't have that available to them. So 'tis the season.
Yeah, it is. The holidays are all about coming together and lifting each other up, making sure that everybody feels cared for. And QFC really does a good job holding this drive every year. They do this every year. It's a huge tradition. Our associates love when this starts. And they encourage each other to sell the bags. They just talk about them to customers. It's a fun, festive time, and it's all about giving back.
Yes. So we can see how there's just multifacets of community happening, and the result is that we're really helping everyone to have what they need and to be able to live a healthy life to the greatest extent possible,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you, Allison Todd, for your work, for your huge long-term involvement at QFC, and really embracing this mission. I love how you're teaching your children as well, which is something that I think encourages us, just to keep developing that in our own life.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Kate. I really enjoyed our chat.
Likewise, and I hope that the results after this December are going to exceed what occurred last December.
Me too. I
Yeah.
think we're in a good place. We're going after it, and I'm sure we'll get there. So,
Yes. And this is still early in the month, so we have lots of time to
yeah,
really make all of this happen. And, if there are multiple trips, potentially multiple virtual bags. I mean, whatever is
yeah,
going to really work for your budget. Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Well, again, Allison Todd, so great to connect with you. Thank you for sharing all this important information with us, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season.
Thanks, you too, Kate. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here this morning to meet these special guests with their important messages on building a stronger and healthier community. Please check this station's website for the podcasts for more information about these guests, and please share the stories with your family and friends. I'm Kate Daniels. If you'd like to connect with me, simply send me an email, katedaniels@hubbardradio.com. I hope you are inspired to act and to be an involved neighbor.
Thank you for listening to Inspirational Women. Tune in every Sunday morning at this time to hear about those truly empowering the Northwest community, all for the greater good. Sunday Morning Magazine and Inspirational Women are a public service of Hubbard Radio Seattle.